I got me an idea, and I'ma put it to work, and I'ma gauge my progress by the sign of the word. Now I ain't yet a success, but yes, the word that I stress, cause by the time you hear the CD, count the steps that I've left, I'm passing all of you.
All right, here we go. Once again, it's another Make It Happen Monday, right? We're looking to get inspired today. We're looking to get motivated today. And this video is going to be your starting point for that, right? And we're going to use all of that motivation and all of that inspiration that you gained from this video. We're going to bottle it up and we're going to use it to be able to carry us throughout this entire week, making this entire week yet another week where we feeling fantastic. We doing fantastic, right? We are living within our gift. And at the same time, we perpetuating that positivity to everyone and anything that comes within our path, right? So let's get into it. Here we go. Everything in life has an equal and opposite thing, right? The saying goes that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, right? I'm telling you that for everything, there's an equal and opposite thing, right? Check this out. Without misery, there's no happiness, right? And the opposite as well. Without happiness, there's no misery, right? You can't clearly define that, right? Without positivity, there's no negativity. Without negativity, there's no positivity, right? Without happiness, there's no sadness. Without sadness, there's no happiness. Without missing something, is there truly an ability to love that, right? Without loving something, could you possibly miss it, right? And without failure, there's no success, and vice versa. My daughter started going to preschool this year. And at first, I'll tell you, it really wasn't a good situation. Every time we would drop her off, from the second we started getting ready at home, there was tears. Then after we overcame that, as soon as we got into the vehicle, there was tears. After we overcame that, while we were driving, there was tears. We overcame that. Once we got to the school, there was tears. We overcame that. Once we got to the door, there was tears. And then we overcame that and we was good money, right? But check this out. Lately, it started to come back again. So I had a conversation with her and I'm like, what's going on, you know? And she says, oh, Papi, you know, I miss mommy. I miss mommy. First of all, I'm like, what about Papi? No, it's like, for real though, right? But no, seriously. But I got it, right? She misses mommy. And I said, hey, you know what? That's fantastic that you miss mommy. And she's like, why, Papi? And I told her, I said, well, because that's proof that you love her so much. The reason why you miss her is because you love her so much. You love mommy, don't you? And she's like, yeah, Papi, I know you do, and that's why you miss her, right? Now, when you come back home, you can give her the biggest hug and the biggest kiss and tell her you love her so much, right? Anyway, the whole point that I was trying to make to her is that with having one is evidence of the other. And it's okay. It is okay, because when you have one, it does indeed shine light on the other, right? All the examples that we started this off with, right? When you have fear, it gives you the ability to be brave and courageous, right? When you have failure, it gives you the ability to recognize success. To keep it in the context of my daughter, right? That's kind of what happens to us as we grow older, right? You don't necessarily take the advice that your parents gave you, or your caretaker, your guardian, or whatever it is, whoever who raised you, right? Whoever it is who raised you, right? We don't take their advice. You know, we don't necessarily pick up the phone and call them as much as we should, right? We don't necessarily, some of us don't even really answer the phone when they call, right? And that's not a good place to be. And tomorrow was never promised. You see what I'm saying? But the thing is that they're always there. They've been there. They're the longest standing individuals who've been in your life. So that missing part is kind of faded, right? You know, public service announcement. Call your moms, right? Love you, Mom. Love you, Pop. But for real, though, that missingness isn't there. So my point in all of this is having one is okay because it shines the light on the other. They say that when God is really working in your life, when you've accepted him and you're building that relationship, then he's really working and he's making power moves in your life and you're making power moves through him. Watch out, because that's when the devil is awoken. You know, when you ain't doing nothing right, when you're just sitting there, you ain't necessarily trying to build your relationship. The devil's chill. He can let you go ahead and do whatever, right? That's how come sometimes we see bad people getting good things, at least good earthly things, right? But that's not what it is, because when you're working with God, the devil starts to work overtime. So when you're walking in grace, there's some bad things that are going to happen to you. Again, without that grace, without that virtue, there's no evil. And vice versa. Without that evil, there's the yin and the yang, right? So let's bring it to what it is we're talking about today. Procrastination. all that is putting something off until tomorrow, putting something off until later, right? When does tomorrow actually happen? When does later actually happen, right? Most of the time it doesn't, right? So let's think about that. Why is it that we're putting things off till later? Why do we say we're going to do it tomorrow? It's because we can think of a million other things that we would rather do now, right? So why is it that we'd rather do those things now? Because it makes us feel better, because it makes us feel good, right? I need to work out, right? I need to get on that treadmill and I need to start running. I need to get on that bike and I need to start pedaling, right? I need to get in that gym. I need to start pumping that iron, right? But it feels so much better if I just recline on my couch right here, eat some Haagen-Dazs ice cream and watch a movie on Netflix, right? That feels better now. That's natural. That's the way we wired. And that's the reason why it's the power of the mindset, right? Is that as in our most primal being, what we want to do is survive and feel good. That's it. Survive and feel good. That's the only two things we're looking to do at our most primal level. You see what I'm saying? And it feels good to recline back in a chair and eat some Haagen-Dazs. You see what I'm saying? I mean, we're going to do whatever it is, the bare minimum, so that we can survive, right? That's not the mindset that we want to be in. That paradigm needs to be shifted because we can't be living there. If you're watching this video, you feel what I'm saying is that we are much better than just simply survivors, right? You know, all props to Queen Bee, right? But we're more than just survivors, right? We're gonna thrive with our lifestyle. We're gonna thrive in our mindset, right? So let me tell you a little story about mindset. What I usually do is I prepare my coffee for myself and my wife at night for the following day. Okay, so 2 nights ago, I was preparing my coffee for yesterday, and when I did so, I recognized like, yo, there's not enough coffee in here for the following day, meaning today. But it was cool, right? We got a whole process for that. I got a grocery list on the refrigerator. My wife orders it from the grocery list. They get it delivered. We get it delivered to the crib. We're all good, right? So I went ahead. I finished making that coffee. I did everything else I had to do for the night, and I you know what I'm saying? I hit the sack, right? I went to bed. Next day comes, you know, I press the button on the coffee machine. We have our coffee. We go throughout our day. Everything is all good, right? So then last night came, I go ahead to start making that coffee, to prepare the coffee in the coffee maker. And I'm like, oh man, I never put the coffee on the grocery list. And check it, my wife already took the grocery list down, ordered all the food and everything from the grocery list, and it was delivered. And between me, her, and my 4-year-old daughter, we put it all away. So I'm feeling a little bit beat, right? But check it. I'm all about positivity. So I'm like, maybe there's a coffee, one of the vacuum sealed coffee someplace in this house, right? So I go check it in the cupboard up here. I look to see, we usually keep the tea in there, right? I think we got some like protein shake mix in there too. And I'm looking, ain't nothing there, right? Check this out though. My mind is telling me that there's no coffee in this house, right? So I go back over to the coffee machine, right? And, you know, we put the coffee outside of the pack. We put it inside of this little jar thingy. So I look, ain't no coffee there either. My mind is telling me that there ain't no coffee in there. There's no coffee in this house. So I go over to the pantry, right? I turn on the light. I open the door. I turn on the light. I'm looking, right? And check this out. I'm even paying attention to details because I look up on the top shelf where we normally keep our coffee, and I'm noticing there's a couple boxes of cereal that we're missing, right? Now, why do I notice that? Because I hide candy behind there. Hopefully none of my kids end up watching this anytime soon. Because I hide candy behind the cereal boxes so that when they pull it out, they really can't see it. Well, I'm looking. I see the candy clear as day, right? My mind is still telling me there ain't no coffee in this house, right? So I look, glance around, you're looking, nothing. I'm like, dang, all right, well, so now I got to go upstairs and, you know, I got to face my boss, right? I got to face my wife. I got to let her know that I never put it on there and we ain't going to have coffee for tomorrow. But I was ready to promise her that I would wake up early in the morning. I go to the store to one of them 24-hour joints, right? Grab her some coffee and come back, have it made before she wakes up. Now, the only problem is that, is like I said, we got 4 kids, 3 of them are babies, 4 and under, right? So at any night, at any moment, one of them, 2 of them, or all 3 of them can wake up and it's going to leave us in a bind. And if I'm not home, that's a big ask. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she could do it. My wife is the bomb, right? But still, that's a big task, right? So I go upstairs. I'm walking upstairs. I got my head a little bit low, right? And I'm like, babe, I'm sorry. And she's like, what's up? I go, I never wrote the coffee down on the list. So, and she's like, oh yeah, that's all right. Because I only bought 1. I didn't realize we needed that much. I'm like, you only bought one what? She's like, I only bought one package of coffee. So, and I'm like, well, where is it? And she says, it's right on the top shelf in the pantry where I always put it, where we always put it. So I'm like, check this out. Paradigm shift, right? My mindset just clicked. I went from there is no coffee in this house to there is absolutely 100% coffee in this house. You get that, right? That's the key, is the mindset shifted. I told myself there was no coffee in this house, and there was no coffee in this house. I went right downstairs. I go downstairs, again, there's coffee in this house. I open up that pantry, turn on the light, boom, my eyes went directly to where that coffee was. The only thing that changed was my mindset. The only thing that changed from 5 minutes ago when there was no coffee in this house to 5 minutes later, and there it is, I will open up that pantry and it's right there as soon as the light turned on, was my mindset. What kind of mystics and wizardry is going on right here? It's in the mind, the power of the mind. 5 minutes ago, I just told myself there was no coffee. I was going through them positive motivational moments and I was just trying to, let me go check. But I was just going through the motions because I did not control my mindset. I was controlling my actions and I was giving myself positive self-talk, but my mind wasn't clicked in. I didn't dial it in and say there is coffee in this house, because when I did, there was coffee in this house. Most of us don't have that. Most of us aren't necessarily dialing it in. They're not sitting there telling themselves, I am capable, I can, watch me make it happen. That's not going on. So what are you thinking? What are you believing isn't there? What are you believing that you can't do? What are you believing that's impossible? Switch that up. Believe that it's there. Believe that you can. Believe that it's possible. There's that saying that says whether you say you can or whether you say you can't, you're absolutely right. Tell yourself you can. Change what you believe not to be for you to believe that it can be and it will be. What you so scared of? What are you afraid of? Right? And if you are afraid, that's okay, because that's where we started this whole thing. That fear is going to shed light on the other side. That fear is going to make way for your ability to be courageous, for your ability to be brave. It's time to change the dynamic. You need to be the aggressor. Turn around. Who is that predator? What is that predator? What are you so afraid of? Switch the tables on them. You become the predator. Make that fear become the prey. With this shift in dynamic, imagine the possibilities. You now walk different. You talk different. Your mind, your body, your soul is feeling different. There's some sort of syntax or synopsis that happens inside of your brain, inside of your body. It makes you different. You are a different person when you become the aggressor. You are no longer trying to protect the little that you have. You're never trying to defend or protect your little ego. You're not trying to go through life like that. You are accepting the fact that you may fail, but you are accepting the fact that that is part of the process, and you're going to keep trying again because you are chasing after that fear. You need to understand that the world is yours. The world is yours. The world is yours, right? Genesis chapter 1 verse 28 tells you you have dominion over the fish in the sea. You have dominion over the fowl in the air. You have dominion over everything that walks on this earth. And I'm sure I messed that quote up a little bit, but that's what it says. The world is yours. Walk that way. Be that way. Feel that way. Believe that way. Change your dynamic to become the aggressor. Turn around and flip them tables. Look at your fear. Look at your procrastination. Look at that hard work. And rather than running from it, run to it. Become the aggressor. Stop running from your fear. Stop running from your procrastination. Stop running from the thought of imminent failure or whatever. Turn them tables and look at it and be like, ha ha, fear, ha ha, procrastination. You better run. You better run, because the tables have turned and I am going to make it happen. Watch me make it happen. Take this video, subscribe to this, like it, share it with somebody. Take this inspiration, this motivation, perpetuate this positivity. And until next Monday, my name is Pablo Rivera. Watch me make it happen.
A level head on my shoulders when I'm in motion. I'm focused, thoroughly thought of my plans and the execution. You notice, ain't no time to think about it, only time to react. Your intuition under pressure, weighing down on your back. I scribble thoughts in my palm, I sing it when I get home. Organize my inner vision.